everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, and yes, I'm over here at the Magic Kingdom. Happy 4th, happy Independence Day, and I guess the Brits will probably tell us happy Treason Day. But I'm over here for the 4th during the day for two reasons. I like visiting the Hall of Presidents, going over all the stuff they have over there about America's founding, and of course, I get to tell you my family's role in the American Revolution, considering that three-quarters of my family were living in Spanish territory in the South and one Spanish territory turned British territory, but I will talk about that a bit later as we go over there. Very, very, very interesting history. So let's see, what else are we going to do? Oh, yes. Also, we are going to be looking at crowd levels because out of all my years of coming to Walt Disney World for the 4th is usually a sea of people. You can't move anywhere. It's like a funeral parlor out there. Hardly anybody. So only 25-minute wait to meet Mickey Mouse on the 4th. That is freaking normal. So I'm going to take you through the parks. We're going to go through the park. We're going to check out a couple of wait times for certain attractions, just so you guys can see just how different it is at Walt Disney World during a high holiday. This is a high holiday like Christmas or New Year's. And the crowd levels are usually the same, but not this year. So you're going to see for yourself. It is really freaking hot outside today. So the stream might be a little shorter than usual, but got my UV umbrella, got my neck fan on. We're going to rock. Of course, I am going to stop and get what's that thing called? Cold brew. Definitely, because it's hot. You can get water for free at any dining establishment here in Walt Disney World, but you know me, I'm addicted to cold brew coffee. So where I am right now, and this has got to be one of my favorite spots to eat coffee, and this is over in Tony's Town Restaurant, also where you can meet Mickey Mouse. As a matter of fact, let me flip the camera. I see all you guys coming in. Thank you so much. I see you. So over there is where you check in to go to Tony's Town Square Restaurant. I have not dined there. I haven't been impressed with Disney's Italian food at all. I just haven't. Maybe I'm just used to it from Philly. It's just, I don't know. Doesn't really impress me. But it's cute. They've got Lady and the Tramp playing over there, so it keeps the kids occupied. It's cool in here. So when it is absolutely flaming hot outside, apologize. I gotta switch my hand where my umbrella is. When it's crazy freaking hot outside, you can come here and hang out. I did not need to look at any of this stuff, but anyway, we're gonna go look over there anyway. Nice and cool in here. You can hang out for a little bit to get out of the sun because it is crazy freaking hot here. So, I haven't seen this. And I think the camera's too close. Hang on one second. Yeah, it is. It's way too close. Okay. You guys can check this out while I see who's in the chat. Let's see. Who we got? First of all, Alan Irons, thank you so much for being a channel member. I sure do appreciate that. Appreciate it. Welcome. Let's see. For channel members, just to remind you guys, we are going to be having a watch party of the new Axel F, aka Beverly Hills Cop 4 movie on Sunday at 2 p.m. check the post on the community board, on the community tab for my channel. And let's see. Oh my gosh, Chef Nation, 10 Reina Creole memberships. Thank you so much, my dear. You are so crazy, crazy, crazy generous. Thank you. Thank you. And folks, make sure you thank Chef Nation for becoming a channel member. We have, I can't believe this, we have 300 members on my channel. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you so, so much, Chef Nation. And good morning to you and to little Chef. Let's see who else we got in here. I'm going to go through real quick. Appleman, hello. Good to see you. Happy 4th of July. He says, enjoy being at Epcot, my dear. We've got Snortopopus Cooper. Good to see you here. Little Mouse, good to see you as well. We got Taylor Swift, better than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU, Doctor Who. Throwing out all those member emojis like he does. We have Steel Leg of History. Hello, the Reina Creole. How are you doing today? Be blessed and happy 4th. You be blessed as well. Happy 4th to all of you. Six Lover says, happy birthday, America. Yes, happy birthday, America, indeed. Like America. Love it today. Melissa Bell says, hi, everyone. Well, hey, and hello. Good to see you. Dave Cable says, hey, Lorena, happy England sucks day. Yes, we were the shot heard around the world, literally, when it comes to standing up to a tyrannical government. Some folks forget that. Hey, Dylan, how you doing? This is Happy America Day. Well, hello. Taranto says, God save the king. Interesting that you should mention that. Because during the revolution, there were people who wanted to pray for the king. And, well, let's just say they got harassed alive. They did. For today, no. But for tomorrow and every other day, yes, God save the king. I miss Queen Elizabeth. Can I just say that? I miss her. Hey, Vanessa, how you doing? Says hi. Toronto's looking forward to our holiday in WW in August, hopefully even quieter. Toronto, she should be crazy quiet by then. It will be in the height of hurricane season, but you should be fine. You're inland here in Orlando, so that helps. Let's see. Nothing like celebrating the boys heading over to Jersey Day. I remember either Dorney Park or Six Flags Great Adventure. That's where people were going if they couldn't go to Disney back in the day. Emily Kruger says, happy 4th of July. Well, happy 4th of July, too. Hi, Tyler Silver. Hi, Tyler Silva says, hi, guys. Happy Thursday. There's Demogenai. Happy Independence Day, Lorena Creole. Well, thank you so much, Demogenai, the Lord Commander of the Dark Council. Hope you're doing well, my dear. Hope you're relaxing today and not working. All right. Yes, today is Independence Day. Independence Day, where 13 of the 15 American British colonies decided to call themselves independent states and revolt against King George III. The Queen was much better and looked a lot better on the bullion coins. Yeah, I love Queen Elizabeth, I tell you. She was so classy. And here's something else interesting to know. During the colonial times, it was very hard to get the southern states, well, southern colonies, to revolt against England, especially Virginia and South Carolina. Why? Because they made a lot of money. A lot of money. Even today, the South, the Southern U.S. has a lot more, I don't want to say reverence, but I'll say respect for the monarchy. Like up north, people like this the monarchy. Down in the South, people are like, I don't know. That's kind of rude. But thanks to the British, we have our sweet tea. No love for King Jug here. No, I have my Mickey ears on, my new ones. Daggone it, wrong one. Sorry. I have my lounge flight ears on, my America Mickey Tommy Hilfiger looking ears. I love these. These are so inventive. Then again, they're lounge fly. Lounge fly does a better job with mini ears than Disney merchandising does. So love these. Love these. Very popular. Usually I like bling, but this one's so cool. Thank you, my dear. Says doing well, my love. Yes, I have the day off. Awesome. Legionized one hard-working man. Let me tell you, you enjoy that day off, my dear. Enjoy, relax. Probably gonna get some gaming in too. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Hey, awesome ones. It's happy 4th of July. We've got Grogu saying hi to Snorter Poopus. Hey, UK, you can have us back. Just kidding. John the Beagle's dad. We are going to talk about the American Revolution from the perspective of my family history. It's going to be real interesting. Some of you are going to find out some stuff that you did not know before. And some of you probably did not know that Florida used to be the American British colonies 14 and 15. And why is that? Because when the 7 Years' War ended and Spain lost, Spain had to get out and vacated Florida to the British in turn for the Spaniards keeping Cuba. Right? So they needed Cuba. That was their jewel in the Caribbean and the seat of government in the Americas. So in exchange for keeping Cuba, Spain gave up Florida to the British. So you had British East Florida, governed by St. Augustine, and then you had British West Florida, governed by Pensacola. And the Castillo de San Marcos became Fort St. Mark. Yep. Keely Chow, happy bleep off England. Yes, and also the Spaniards basically saying, yeah, we're going to wait, and eventually we're going to get you we're going to get you back. Because the Revolutionary War was a proxy war. Florida history is very interesting. Yes, and part of it I didn't even know until I started researching my own family. I had no idea of any of this. I had to go through research papers, scholar papers, doctoral dissertations, actual records. Ooh, Dapper Dans. Let's go see the Dapper Dans. 24 of you folks in here. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. What is more America than spending the 4th of July at Walt Disney World? It's been a tradition for my family for years, especially if you were from the East Coast. You knew if you were going to Florida, you went one of two times in the summer, the 4th of July or the end of August. Every day, beautiful tomorrow is just in the dream.
Shiny every day. There's a beautiful tomorrow. Just a dream away, away. It's only just one dream away. It's just a dream away. A beautiful tomorrow is only just one dream away.
Well, that went to fireworks for the, I'm forgetting what the heck that thing was called. Friendship fair show, that kind of thing. So it's hot, so we're going to go in here through the Emporium. Hey, Kiss My Grits, it's happy 4th, Lorena. I just looked at Magic Kingdom wait times and I'm stunned at how low they are. You and me both. I posted on Twitter, or X, it's always going to be Twitter, that the wait time to go see Mickey Mouse, it's 4th of July, right? Oh, thank you. The 4th of July, 25 minutes. Now, back in the day when I used to come here for the 4th of July, it was always like seas of people. The park opened till 1 a.m. It was insane how many people were here. People would camp out from sunup to sundown for the fireworks. Camp out in the Magic Kingdom. Literally. But the reason I think that they're low, one, a lot of people are not choosing to come here for vacation because of how expensive it is. Two, Walt Disney World is based on a out of state and out of the country tourism model. Because if you guys remember, you may not, but when Walt Disney came up with this plan to have this park in Florida, Roy Disney is like, it's in the middle of nowhere in a swamp. How are you going to get people to come there? Because the population it wasn't anything like Anaheim, or Los Angeles. So it's like, how are you going to get people to come to that park? And he's like, well, we have to convince all the folks from the East Coast to come down. And that's how it started. I-95 is specifically set up in so many ways to bring as many people from the East Coast down here to visit the parks. Disney owns the ABC affiliates for the media markets for Philadelphia. That would be WPBI Action News in New York, in Boston, on purpose. But when you don't have people from out of the state or out of the country visiting, it's not sustainable. So it's very obvious when those numbers are down. And also, Disney cut the hours because when I did my reservation, I said, let me do it early because they're probably going to block the annual pass holders out. Well, the park hours, I think, were initially going to be until about 12 a.m. I'm like, oh, this will work. This is going to be great. This will work great for us. And then they wind up cutting the hours down until like 11. And this was like about 2 weeks or a week before. So they knew bookings were sold out. Because people are like, let's see, what can I do at home that's not as expensive? And that's what happened. So let's see. I said we were going to look at wait times. So let's go over to Tomorrowland because I need my coffee. I need my coffee. The relations between the British and the African slaves during the American Revolution was interesting to say the least. Yes, it was. Very interesting how the British Crown was quite satisfied with slavery in the Americas, especially in the British colonies, here in the Americas. However, once the revolution popped off, and I'm forgetting the name of the guy of the noble who did the declaration, but once the revolution happened, what the British Crown did was basically said that if you were enslaved, you were a slave, and you fought on the side of the British, you would be given your freedom at the completion of your service to the crown. That was very true. The reason why they did that, here's the reason why. The northern colonies were very, very, very gung-ho about independence because you had more British garrisons up that way. They could set up in your house. You were required to put them up, feed them, do all of that. Much more activity from the British Crown in the northeastern, say, from Philadelphia upward, especially Massachusetts. But if you're a British soldier and you're wearing those hot woolen outfits, do you really want to go to the South? Do you really want to get stationed in Charleston or Savannah when Barbados is bad enough? No. So there was less of a revolutionary tendency down there, but still, they said, you know what? Slavery is the economic engine in the South. So we've got the Yanks in Massachusetts and up there revolting over the stamp tax and tea tax and the sugar tax. But they're not revolting down in the South. But let's stir the pot anyway to our advantage. So that was it. And you had some slaves did not take them up on that. Others did. And at the conclusion of the Revolutionary War, some of them went to England or they went to Canada. They weren't going back. They weren't going to the British Caribbean because they still had slavery there. But most of them went to Canada, and some went to England. So it's very interesting because Lincoln pretty much did the same thing. Okay. 15 minutes for the laugh floor. Okay, it should not be that low this time of year. It should be about 30 minutes. $30 minutes for that. No, sorry, 15 minutes for that. Stitch's Great Escape is no more.
But not a crazy one.
Let's see. Okay, if this is less than 45 minutes for Buzz Lightyear, that's an issue. I'll get back to the chat in a moment. Okay, y'all, this is insane. The standby wait for Buzz Lightyear is 15 minutes. That is unheard of for the 4th of July. Let's go this way. 15 minutes. In case people think I'm lying. Look at that. 15 minutes for Buzz Lightyear. The highest I've seen it has been about an hour. With high demand, like a lot of people in the park, it should be at least 45 minutes. Definitely an hour by this time, middle of the day. 15 minutes, y'all. 15 minutes. Carousel of Progress, that's always a walk-off. You never have to wait that long to get on the Carousel of Progress. But let's go see what the wait time is for Space Mountain. Space Mountain's a big one. If this is less than an hour, again, we got problems. I've seen waits for Space Mountain be like 2 hours when the park is insanely packed. People love that. They don't really have a wait time for that. I'm guessing the way the line's moving, probably like 10 minutes. These folks are walking. That's probably about 10. Let's see, the Astro Orbiter. Hello. Astro Orbiter, they usually I don't see the wait time for it. That looks pretty low too. Let's see, we'll look at the wait time for Space Mountain, and then I'm going to go over there to the Joffrey station and grab myself gosh, I had a drink again. Grab myself a cold brew, or maybe something different. I don't know. I might try the blue thing. Okay, let's see. Space Mountain is 55 minutes. But again, considering this is the 4th of July, at this point in the day, it should be like closer to 90. It should be closer to 90 minutes. It's only 55-minute wait time. Wow. Yeah, these are crazily low. Dang. Okay, definitely not looking normal at all. Okay, I'm gonna go get me a blue drink. It's hot. It's so hot. I have my neck fan on, but I need to turn it up. 35 of you folks in here. Happy 4th of July. I'm going to go over here to the Joffrey's coffee, but I'm not going to get coffee though. I think I might get the Team Blue lemonade. That stuff is good. But I also want it for the ice. All right. Thanks, all you folks who just started sneaking in here. Starlina, I see you. Scott Westbrook, I see you. Thank you so much, Scott, for gifting those 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you so, so, so much. So generous. Love it when y'all share the love with channel members. Thank you so very much, my dear. Look at all that green. Let's see. Andrew Yakas, hello. Drove down with family 3 times in the station wagon. Saw Grandma and Mickey. Dude, that was me. We stopped to see. We had the family truckster. Then when I was 16, I had to help drive. But we'd stop, visit the grandparents in Jacksonville, then drive into the middle of nowhere in the Palatka, visit the relatives there, and then go see Mickey. Did you have to sit in the back of the station wagon? Because you got a whole different perspective of the trip when you were sitting in the back. Just checked that the wait times at Universal, and they're very low too. Inflation hitting vacation budgets really hard, and opting for beach lake trips. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's really, because it's really expensive. Universal, I will say, is slightly cheaper. Um, I have seen more people, more locals go to Universal. But yeah, it's really down. But with Disney, it's crazy now because usually Disney was the first choice. Of course, inflation does not help. Let's see, Team Blue Lemonade, salted caramel. Ooh, salted caramel mudslide cold brew. I think I'm gonna get that instead. I love cold brews. Hi, can I get thank you. Can I get a salted caramel mudslide cold brew, please?
Anything else?
No, that's fine. Yeah.
It's gonna be $6.91.
The one with smaller.
There I go.
It's gonna ask you a question, but it's gonna be right here on the side, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Your order number. I'll be right here on this window.
Oh, okay. All right. Here, what's my phone number? All right, folks. Go over here and wait for my caramel mudslide cold brew. Oh my gosh, it sounds incredibly delicious. You can go to Starbucks, but frankly, I don't like going to Starbucks. I don't like their coffee. Joffrey's carts are amazing. Hello, Filbert Studio. Hello and welcome. Welcome. Vigilante Williamson, I have not seen you in a while. Good seeing you. Hope you're doing well. Happy 4th. Kay Roberts, the tactical discipline with the wool jackets was not to throw them away before the summer rains kicked in. Okay, thank you very much. You too. Oh my gosh, this looks so beautiful. Wait till I show you guys. It's gonna be kind of hard. It's gonna be hard holding the umbrella. I'm actually gonna take this down. Sorry. Kind of hard holding the umbrella and the gimbal at the same time. Oh my gosh, this is so good, y'all. Woo. Sweet tea would be better, but I cannot knock this cold brew. It is delicious. It hits the spot out here. It's so hot. Let me walk through. Who am I going to walk through? I'm going to Liberty Square. So let's walk over here through Mickey Star Traders, actually. On the way over to the Hall of Presidents. I should have put sugar in it, but I didn't. I'm trying to cut down on my sugar. Even cutting down on Splenda. Because the flavor of the cold brew is so nice, especially with the cream. It's so good. $6.99. You get a nice hefty size here. But I can't touch the screen with wet fingers. So over. Let's see, more American history. Okay. Did you know how the French got paid for use of their ships at the Battle of, oh my gosh, Battle of Yorktown? Because the French weren't doing this stuff for free, that's for sure. Reason how they got paid, because they needed to block Cornwallis. They got gold and silver. Remember, the Spanish piece of 8, legal tender. You can see Spanish pieces of 8 in the Valley Forge Museum, Valley Forge Park. You can see Spanish pieces of 8. Okay. So on the, we'll say on the down low, because Spain could not let it get out that they were involved really in what they did was get silver and gold from Cuba. Okay. Ooh, I like that Mickey shirt. That's nice. There was no FedEx. Okay. No Federal Express to ship all of that silver and gold to the Patriots in Virginia. So what happened was you had a couple of stalwart Patriots actually sail to Cuba, okay, got all the gold and the silver, but then they had to navigate the Straits of Florida and the Bahamas to avoid the British. So we had some stalwart Patriots ferrying all of that moolah and swag to Virginia, and they had to navigate and avoid the British in the Straits of Florida to get it to Yorktown, and that's how the French got paid for use of their ships. But remember, folks, what's not taught in schools and what I had to find out on my own is that the French were paid with gold and silver from Cuba, courtesy of private donations of Spanish citizens and the government of His Most Royal Christian Majesty. Let me sit down here for a minute. We got some nice cloud cover. I'm going to take advantage of it. Okay. George Washington first victory in New Jersey because of a double agent. Yes. That was true. I have a feeling most of the tourists are at the beach, schools, and water parks. Yeah, especially here in Orlando. We're right smack between the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic Ocean. I saw people in the parking lot at Target. Stop at Target, load up with ice chest, all the stuff you need, packing it in the car and heading out. Stuff's cheaper at the beach too. And not many tourists are going to the beach. They're mostly going to parks and stuff. What is that? My bro is somewhere down there amongst the masses. LOL. I was almost with him, but I'm broke. I hear you. I'm still Texas. I'm still melting. Yeah, it's so hot here. I'm under a tree right now. before I get moving again. We're outside the Starlight Cafe. We might walk in and see the animatronic, which is actually still working. I mean, he was leaking a little bit a couple months ago, but he was kind of old. Hey, Marilyn, you were right on time. We're making our way on over to the Hall of Presidents over in Liberty Square, and gonna see how Biden's animatronic is more coherent than you. B Mart. Oh, thank you. $20 says 4 funnel cakes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I might go by Sleepy Hollow to get funnel cake. Oh my goodness, yes. Funnel cake is, oh God, funnel cake is life. Thank you so much, B-Bar, for that $20 super chat. Oh, I so appreciate you guys' support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sleepy Hollow has the most disrespectful funnel cakes in the Magic Kingdom. Oh my gosh, the way they load it up with whipped cream and what is it? Whipped cream and strawberries and all that. So good. So good. So good. Disney World get mascot, Goofy, Mickey, Pluto, and other. I like my girl Daisy. I want a Cobra. It is so delicious, especially when you mix the cream with the rest of the coffee. Mm, fabulous. And Joffrey's does a kick-ass job. Skip Starbucks and go to a Joffrey's cart. Mm. Also, if you go to Joffrey's, they seem to have more seasonal selections, and not all selections at all carts are the same. Another place that has Joffrey's cold brew is right over there at the Cheshire Cafe. Another one of my favorite places to eat. It's got the Cheshire Cat on the front. You can get your Mad Hatter cupcake and your cold brew. Mm. Wonderful. Hey, Adega. Good to see you. Yep, we're going to go over this, Florida Poopus. We are headed on over. We're going to see how Biden wished he was at the last debate. No, he's never going to live that down. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. How many people have been making jokes that Biden's animatronic is more coherent than he is? Oh, cool. Good old Spain. I've worked for alcohol before, but I also have a severe whiskey collective problem. Oh, you sound like me when it comes to rum. Oh gosh, I love rum. The French also wanted to take the British down a notch and get their lost colonies in Canada and the Caribbean back. Yes, they did. True story about that. After the Grand Derangement, which basically the Acadians were burned out of their property and everything in up in Nova Scotia, up like near Beaubassin. Some of them went to the Americas, some of them went to Haiti, San Domingue, on the front side of the island, but some of them decided to go to Louisiana because, as far as they knew, Louisiana was still under the flag of France, which it had been under French control, I want to say, since 16 something. But when the Acadians got there, surprise, 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 due to a secret arrangement between the King of France and the King of Spain, who actually they happen to be cousins, Louisiana was now a Spanish colony. But Spain basically let the Acadians know, hey, you can stay. They were like, fine, we just need land and that's it, and leave us alone. So Spain gave them the most undesirable land, aka the Bayou. So they stayed there. And when the when the American Revolution popped off, the Acadians wanted to get back at the British for burning them out of Canada. So they joined the Spanish military regiments that were there. Now, Spain could not officially enter the Revolutionary War. So they were sending spies, sending meat from Texas, from the Spanish colony over there in Texas. They were sending meat and blankets and provisions up the Mississippi River behind British lines. Again, unofficially. But once Bernardo de Galvez, that's what the Texas town of Galveston, that's who that town is named for. Once he got word from Spain that it was okay to say, hey, guess what? We're officially in this war now. When that happened, then that's when he took his forces made up of Cajuns, free mulattoes and black people of color, other folks who just had a score to settle with England, and they came at the Brits from the south, another front. So the Americans were fighting in the likes of Camden, in South Carolina and Georgia. It was really bloody, and they were kind of losing. Spain got involved, was able to drain British resources that way. So you had several of my ancestors, including one of my favorites, well, actually two. The one in Florida, Don Francisco Javier Sanchez. Yes, the title of Don granted to him by the King of Spain. So when England, or the British, got control of Florida, St. Augustine, his family were like, we're out, along with most of the other Spanish citizens. He was supposed to go to Cuba, but his older brother was engaged, and he did not want to remain in Florida. So my fifth great grandfather switched places, got everybody's land, but he decided to stay. He decided to stay in Florida, be a de facto British citizen, get a mulatta common law wife, and have 10 kids and richest dude in the colony, right? But when the revolution popped off, he pissed off the British governor all the time, St. Augustine, because any of the patriots or the Spaniards that they caught and they held in Fort St. Mark, aka the Castillo de San Marcos, my fifth great grandfather was bringing them food, blankets, steak, dinners, all of that stuff, because he was a cattle rancher and he was filthy freaking rich. And he's actually listed in the Daughters of the American Revolution database. So yeah, that was the Florida side. Now on the Louisiana side, my fifth great grandfather, Donato Maximilian Bello, yes, middle name was Maximilian. He was an officer in the Spanish Army. Interestingly enough, he was a citizen of the Kingdom of Naples, which was under Spanish control. So yes, that area in Italy, Campania, Naples, all that, that's where he came from. So when the revolution popped off, guess what? Fought on the side of Spain. Rest is history. So it's interesting from my family's standpoint, like literally 80% of my family was fighting in the South. Not really, not American citizens, not British citizens, really. But unfortunately for Spain, Spain was kind of in a tough spot because they were having problems with their own colonies in the Americas. So they didn't really want to support a war that could possibly come back to bite them in the ass. But they kind of had no choice because they really wanted to get back at Britain. So not too long after the Americans won the Revolutionary War, you had a man by the name of Simón Bolívar. And you're probably like, how do you know who Simón Bolívar is? Well, here's why. Dang, that was good. I know who Simón Bolívar is because he went to a military academy not too far from where I grew up. George Washington was his hero. So Bolivar spent time in Philadelphia. So that's how I know who he is. And Simón Bolivar is the guy responsible for pretty much helping to fuel the revolution in the Spanish colonies. That was him. So the other 10% of my relatives or my ancestors who lived up in New England, 3 distant cousins signed the Declaration of Independence. Most notably, a man named Robert Tree Payne. You can actually see him portrayed in the miniseries John Adams. These men basically signed their death warrant.
Welcome one and all to the Magic Kingdom. In just a few minutes, we will
And John Hancock made sure to sign really big, so King George didn't need his spectacles in order to see his signature. So,
If you head down this way and you're going to make a right by the TV.
so I am related to John Adams, and Sam Adams. I am related to them. I don't know. You guys want to see the parade? We got time. We got time. I can talk. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, Robert Tree Payne. So yeah, that's where they were from. So I have a different perspective about the founding of America since finding out like who my ancestors were, who I was related to.
welcome one and all to the Magic Kingdom. In just a few minutes, we will proudly present an enchanting celebration in the streets. Our Disney Festival of Fantasy Parade. But first, please welcome our honorary Grand Marshals. Celebrating the 4th of July, the Cuevas family from Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Ocean Springs, I know where that is. Hello! That's crazy. I know exactly where Ocean Springs, Mississippi is. My grandfather was born not too far from there. That is so cool. They got to do that. So they'll pick a family of the day to be a grand marshal, and they get to ride on the little cart before the parade happens. If you drive by the beach with your windows down, you can smell the bacon sizzling. Marilyn says, is the Tiana ride working today? As far as I know, it is. Drew Disney Dude, who's a vlogger, he's got a boarding pass today to get on. So I think it's running. So we'll walk over that way, actually, after we get done in the Hall of Presidents. But since I have an umbrella and I have a fan, you guys have an amazing front row view of the parade. I'm wondering if they'll do some patriotic touches. PR guys, most people know broad strokes of history, so it's the little details like the ones you just shared with us that are particularly interesting because they contributed to how things turned out. It's very interesting, the history that I was taught and then the history that I found out on my own doing more research. And I'm like, well, how come they didn't talk about this? But the main reason, and I read this in a book too, I was like, how come here in the States, here in America, when we learn about the Revolutionary War, it's us and our friends, the French, and a couple of other people. Oh my gosh. Otto von Bismarck, the Calb, the King of Prussia, Kosciuszko. So we know about those guys. We know about them. But as for Spain, the reason why we don't hear about Spain's contributions is because John Jay pissed off the Spanish. That's why. Huge diplomatic stepping in it. John Jay is to blame for that because the Spanish crown, they were actually the King of Spain and George Washington were friends. As a matter of fact, George Washington had requested a special version of cattle to be shipped to him. It was against Spanish law to do so. But the King of Spain says, because we revere you so much and, we respect you and we appreciate you, we want to honor you by sending you not only the 2 you requested, but I think George Washington requested 1, but he actually got 2. And I find it interesting. None of this had ever been taught to me in school. Animatronic has to be functioning better than the real guy. Oh yeah. You'd hardly think it was him. Not gonna lie, I don't know blank about history. Oh, that's okay. History for the most part can be really boring. But I had some history teachers who were just like, forget dates. You need to learn circumstances for what was going on. Made it much more interesting. Ann Dunnington, hello, says hi, Lorena. The animatronic definitely is more functional. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine what happens if Trump wins? And they have to make a new animatronic because remember the one that they have in there looks like Hillary? That's going to be quite interesting. Timothy Perzuara, hopefully I said that right. Hello and welcome to my stream. So glad you're here and happy 4th of July. Fantasyland is so hot, no shade. Yeah, if you're in Fantasyland, if you want shade, you've got to go into PhilharMagic. You have to go into Pinocchio's Village House. It's a Small World. I mean, the song would drive you nuts, but it's cool, so you're willing to tolerate it. Not a whole heck of a lot of shade. You're absolutely right. Although you can hide in the princess meet and greet in the waiting area, you can hide there. Good morning, your Muslim uncle, says America. Oh, yeah, happy Independence Day. Absolutely, your Muslim uncle. You know what? I'm probably going to watch Team America World Police again tonight. I saw that for the first time like last month. I don't know why it took me so long to watch it, but I finally did. I freaking love that. Yes, happy Independence Day. And say hi. That's the Liberty Bell. Very paddle boat over there. And tell Sufi Mom I said hello and blessings and blessings. Scott Westbrook says descendant of those Huguenots as well. Yeah, we had a lot of French Huguenots that came to the Americas so they wouldn't be persecuted like they were in France. Look up something called the Siege of La Rochelle. I have some ancestors who are from La Rochelle. It's pretty messed up. So yeah, it was not uncommon to find French Huguenots in the Americas. Thanks for the history talk. I'm learning a lot. Oh, well, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I love sharing American history, especially American history as I've learned and researched and read the actual documents and finding out about my family members. Even finding out about my family members where the revolution basically it fractured the whole family. I had a seventh, no, I think it was eighth great grandfather who helped found King's College, which is now known as Columbia University. He was a judge. His wife was French. When the revolution popped off, half of the family went with the Patriots. The other half of the family were loyalists. And at the end of the revolution, they went back to England. My fifth great grandfathers, he made swords for the Continental Army in North Carolina. And his brother-in-law actually had a rifle that only he could shoot it. Only musket, only he could shoot it. He had tricked it out. And apparently he was a really tall guy, and 3 Tories basically overpowered him and killed him. Yeah. Yep, shot him in his own doorway. So revolution split a lot of families, and then even when it did pop off, you had a lot of people leave the British colonies, especially if you were on the border of Georgia and Florida, because Florida was loyalist territory then. So a lot of people brought their families, their money, their slaves into Florida during the Revolution. My first job when I moved back to Florida in the late 80s was near SeaWorld. My boss was named Carlos, and he was an Afro-Cuban who had moved to the U.S. Oh, wow. Here we go. Theme parks assemble. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We got the UV umbrella. This is a great spot to watch the parade because the vehicles are going to turn. There's Tiana's Bayou adventure, and I don't see a lot of water falling. We're going to go check it out in a bit, though. Right here in Liberty Square, You see where the Liberty Bell is? Well, a duplicate or replica. I've seen the real one in Philly. So if you're standing here, this is like a great spot. Oh, there's the ASL translator. That's so cool.
Will become a part of the magic. For the time has come to keep your distance and prepare to welcome the wondrous and wonderful Disney Festival of Fantasy.
Yes, happy 4th to everyone. Yes, John Hancock with his big signature. I remember when I first saw the Declaration of Independence, I'm like, why did he sign so freaking large? And he said, because he wanted King George to know. He signed it. Did you go to Disney World every day or not really? No. No, as a kid or even in college, I didn't really go that often at all. When I was a kid, maybe once a year, visit relatives in Florida and come to Disney. When I would do my own trips, once a year, twice a year, things were really good. In college, I was too broke, so only around spring break would I go. And now I live very close to the parks, but I got other stuff going on. It's kind of different when you live here. I could not imagine going here every day. I could not. All my American ancestors came to the U.S. after the Civil War, so none of them were involved in the Revolutionary War, and none of my British ancestors were either. Oh. Did they get involved in the Civil War? Well, I said after the Civil War. Okay, I gotcha. No, I'm not going tonight. You guys can see the live stream last night. You can see the live stream from last night where I showed the fireworks. I only go to the 4th of July fireworks on the 3rd. Although given the crowd level today, you might get a good spot for fireworks. It's very cool you trace your family history to people so entwined in U.S. history. Yeah, it is. For the longest time, I thought that it wasn't true. I'm like, come on, this can't be true. People are going to think I'm lying. It's insane, but it's given me a better appreciation for this country and what people went through for this country to be born, and why it's so important to share that information. Because some people will be like, why do I care that some white people rebelled? I'm like, it wasn't just them. You had some free black people who did not want to be part of the British Empire, and several of those soldiers' names are in various cemeteries in the Northeast. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys enjoy the parade. Hello, Nita. Good to see you. This is happy 4th of July, everyone. Hope you're doing well, Nita. It's very hot today. You're very welcome, Andrew. Very welcome. There we go. We are in the perfect spot. I love this. Well, I'm going to go over there and check it out after we get out of the Hall President. There's Tiana. Yeah, I like to show you guys the great spots to watch the parade. I don't pick these spots arbitrarily. There's a reason. So you know where to stake your spot at. I do too. Okay, let's enjoy the parade. Oh, great, they are swinging today. Oh my gosh, the lashes, I'm loving it. I'm a makeup fiend, in case you guys didn't know that. There's my girl, there's Ariel.
Dynasty! Life under the sea is better than any kingdom or hotel.
Here's the Lost Boys. And Wendy. There she goes. There's my girl Tinkerbell. Sorry guys, the other phone overheated. So I'm on the other one. I'm sorry about that. There's Jiggity Cricket. There's Mad Hatter. There's Sister Taco Bell. Here comes the big, huge float. There's Donald. So many bubbles. Look, there's Dumbo. And the hippos. There's Davy. And there's Chip. There's Chip.
Mom, look at Minnie's dress. I would dress like that.
Like it's a party. And there they are.
Minnie! Minnie!
Yep. Yes, they do.
Minnie!
And that is the end of the parade. Sorry about the gap there. My phone overheated, which was really annoying. Really aggravating. That's okay, we're good. We're good. So we are going to head on into the Hall of Presidents right now, which I think everyone had the same idea. Let me get in here and then I will switch phones. 41 of you guys weren't watching. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Let's head on in. Oh, my other phone should be cooling off shortly. Welcome to the Hall of Presidents. Yes, it's a great place to get a nap, but also a very great place to learn about the country. So what you are seeing right here is the Great Seal of the United States. This is in the Oval Office in Washington. Congress had to actually pass an act to allow Disney to put this here. So if you've never been to the White House in Washington, into the Oval Office, here's an official replica right here. Yep, Cherry Rose, that's what I'm betting on. I'm hoping to get a better look at him. So let's see. Before they let us in, and I usually sit in the back, through here you can check out portraits of the presidents. We've got Jimmy Carter. He's still hanging on, from what I understand. He's still hanging on. You've got Roosevelt right there. You've got James Monroe, the 5th president. We got Abraham Lincoln. Of course, we all know him. He's the 16th president. Then here's the president that I love to loathe, which would be Andrew Jackson, the territorial governor of Florida. and responsible for kicking off not one but two Seminole Indian Wars in the state. Yeah, he didn't make a lot of friends in Congress or among American citizens. Let's see, that's George W.'s jacket for the Rangers. That's Barack Obama's basketball. Jimmy Carter's fly fishing gear. And Theodore Roosevelt's teddy bears and books. So a fun fact about both Bushes, Herbert Walker and W. and Barack Obama, is that I'm related to both of them. All ties go back to New England because New England was the brain trust of the country, of America. Wealthy planters in the South, if they couldn't send their kids to Europe for education, they sent them to schools like Harvard, West Point, Columbia, Yale. That's where they were sent to be educated. Jackson is on a $20 bill, but he didn't want a central bank Fed. Yeah, he said, the bank is trying to kill me, but sir, I will kill it. Look at George Washington's shoe buckles. See, that's pimping right there. Look at that. Late 18th century buckles were the height of fashion, indicating one's taste and social standing. These silver and stone shoe buckles were part of President George Washington's jewelry collection. That's definitely a northern to Virginia thing, because in the South, it's mostly your spurs, especially for cattle ranchers. Caroline Wilcox says, hey, thank you for streaming today. Well, you were more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Wanted to come over here to the park so you guys can see for yourselves how crowded it is or isn't, and some of the fun things to do during holidays. So let's see, we're gonna go over this way and take a look at the portraits. Let's see, who do we have over here? We have Thomas Jefferson. Yes, I'm related to him, but not the way you think. There's Delano Roosevelt. Yes, I'm related to him too. I know. This girl did this fun high school project where she traced the lineage of all of the presidents back to like the same group of families in New England. And of course, there's Ronald Reagan. There's Reagan. This is my favorite part of the exhibit, which is the dresses of the first ladies. So here's Dolly Payne Todd Madison. Looks very Bridgerton. You see it? A lot of people wanted to send their kids to West Point because it was free. I hear ya. Even with the planters in the South, still some of them were not as rich as those in the North. Ooh, Caroline Henderson. Ooh, look at this. It's gorgeous. And here's Rosalind Carter's dress. Very nice. My favorite Civil War general, Grant, didn't want to go to West Point, but his father insisted. He didn't really want to be in the Army, but funny how things work out. Grant was the one who was reported to be an alcoholic, right? There's a reason that I say that, as I think General Sherman was quoted as saying, Grant helped me when I was depressed, and I helped Grant when he was drunk. And there's George Washington. And also over there, the bust of Walt Disney is in here as well. And there's the bust of Lincoln. If you ever have the chance, I think it's on Disney Plus, but it might be on YouTube too. Look at how they come up with the Hall of Presidents, how they came up with the concept, how Disney came up with the concept, and also how they integrate the new presidents. Wow, this is so cool. Rings, buckles, all of that great stuff. That's amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and try to switch to the other phone because it should be cool. Should be cool by now. 51 of you guys are here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I promise. I promise. Oh, thank you.
Here you go.
Like losing everything. All right. Let's get us back together here. Okay, let's try again. Try again. Again. Yeah, we know something went wrong. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. All right. Okay. Fix that. There we go. All these lovely technical tricks. All right, there I go. There I go. As you can see, my makeup is trying to come off completely. It's hot as I don't know what up here in this piece. Okay, let me connect right here. There we go. All right. Thank you guys for your patience. My phone should not have overheated. I was under a UV umbrella and all of that stuff. After these messages, we'll be right back. I need another transition screen for that. It's like, we'll be right back. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. Grant had a really low tolerance for alcohol. One drink pretty much did it for him. He can control it most of the time, but he'd go on binges when there wasn't much going on to keep him busy. Yeah, because there was no television back then. And unless you were a real bookworm or something like that and could afford books, number one, there wasn't a lot to do. So I get it. Okay, so when we go in, I'm going to sit in the back. That's what I like to do, to like not have my screen bother anyone. Every seat is a good seat in there. Oh, thank you, Starlina27. Thank you. This earband is actually from Loungefly, the ones that make the cute backpacks. I find the Loungefly ears have a lot more thought and detail put into them than the Disney ones. Because I thought we were going to get like a sparkling America kind of headband, which they used to do back in the day, but they didn't have one. So I saw this one, I'm like, oh, it's different, but I really like it. So yeah, grab it. They're available only at the Disney parks. You may be able to buy them online or from Loungefly's website. I haven't been to Loungefly's website in a while because I don't want to buy anything. But they may have it there too as well. Amazing. Dude, I've got a fan around my neck. I'm still that humidity is a beast out there. Between how humid it is and that increases the heat index, is probably why my phone overheated. But anyway, we're all good. We're all good. Some lot triples with troubles to the screen. Yeah, a little bit. Hey Tina, Bad Take Bojan says, I love seeing so many people at this exhibit on July 4th. Yes. I mean, when I was a kid, I'm just like, oh, it's boring being in here. And my family never did Hall of Presidents. Like, this was never on our itinerary to do. And I didn't experience it for the first time until about 10 years ago. And then I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. So it's a great introduction to America and how America was founded. I really hope they don't change the format. But how much you want to bet the Lincoln animatronic is still working? Because he actually gets up. Let's see. I think did we see everything? I think we saw everything. We saw the presidents. We saw the seal. I think we saw the dishes. This is just a great spot to hang out. Again, cool, take a nap, Seriously, I can respect a company that puts care and integrity in their works. Yes, that is Loungefly. Again, the reason that they are so popular is because of the care and detail that they put into their bags. That's why people collect them so much. Yeah, they're starting to kind of really wear it out with how many bags they do, but overall, I get compliments on all of my Loungefly bags, especially my Tinkerbell Loungefly bag, my Oogie Boogie Loungefly bag, and my My Hero Academia one. That's probably the top Loungefly bag I get the most compliments on and asked where did I buy it. They do an awesome job. Your phone is an example of why Tiana keeps breaking down. At least it's easy to reboot my phone. Overheated and came right back. Does Lincoln say party on, dude? I got that reference. The newer show is good. I remember going as a kid, and I like history enough. I didn't complain about the older, boring show. My parents were taking a nap in the AC. See, that's what I'm talking about. Get in here. It's cool. Go in there. You got a good, like, 25-minute nap. It's perfect. You learn a bit of history. See some memorabilia from the presidents. And it's perfect.
Guys, I'm trying to walk.
Yeah, it still trips me out that I didn't know for years that I was going to say Roosevelt, not him. Woodrow Wilson. Oh yeah, can we talk about this segregationist for a while? Right in the middle, Woodrow Wilson resegregated the U.S. government. Let's see, son of a Confederate officer. He was just freaking horrible. But it's interesting how that isn't really taught in schools, exactly how much damage Woodrow Wilson did to the country. Because after Reconstruction, that was hard enough, but you also had more black people who were entering civil service. Again, the roaring 20s, making money, prosperity, all of that. This dude gets in and resegregates the government. And screens Birth of a Nation. Yeah. But it's funny, and no one really talks about Woodrow Wilson. He's a Democrat. I mean, it just amazes me. But then again, there's the history that's taught in school. And then there's the history that you find that has been, quote unquote, omitted. You know? Hey, Dadman Walking says, howdy, Reina Creole. Happy 4th to all. We'll be driving, so I can't respond. Hi, all. Well, hey, Dadman. Please say hello to the missus for me. I hope you guys are having a wonderful and enjoyable 4th of July. I'm probably going to have to go through my stories of being in Palatka on the 4th of July. I was the one who got to light the fireworks. And they were fireworks that kids should not be playing with. Know what I'm saying? Fireworks, buying, watermelon and oranges from the vendors on the side of the road, boiled peanuts. And you only buy boiled peanuts if they have a sign that says P-nuts. When you see boiled P-nuts, you know that's good. So for folks who do not know, oh my gosh, boiled peanuts are so good. You have like the green peanuts, they're not quite ripe. And you basically make a boil of spices and seasonings, and you boil the peanuts in it. And then you take them out, and the peanuts slide right out of the shell, and they're so tasty. Usually served to you in a brown paper bag. It's even better. Oh my gosh, that would be so amazing. That's one of the things that I liked about Bill and Ted. Is the stuff from history that they got. You're right about that, Snoop Purpose. It just amazes me how much of a pass that dude has got. I have a whole book that I got, and yes, physical, because I'm into collecting books, physical copy of books, because digital, you can erase everything. But I found this whole book about Woodrow Wilson and how he desegregated the government. It was something else. Well, since I'm doing paperwork today instead of physical work, and it's a holiday, it's whiskey time. I could go for a rum punch right now. Well, Dave Cable says Wilson did a lot of bad things, like with the Fed and all. Oh, yeah. He did a lot of ish. A lot. There's a lot of shows in Disney you can nap in. Carousel of Progress, Tiki House. Oh, yeah, I know about those two. Definitely Carousel of Progress. My dad loved that one. Like, you get a nap, go in the tiki room, get a nap. If it's just hot outside, but you're not really in a napping type of mood, but it's nice and cool, Pirates of the Caribbean. Hey, Ang says, I love the Lounge Fly Baymax bag. It's so cute, isn't it? With a little hug. Keeps trying to make me buy it. I'm like, no, I'm going to resist. I hope you're doing good, Ang. Currently using it too. That's awesome. Tiki room, no, I don't nap in Disney. I spent too much money. I did fall asleep in Jimmy's bar in Alaska, but that was a lack of hydration and an excess of tequila. To be honest, I've never fallen asleep, no, but for some reason my dad would just like fall asleep. And it's so embarrassing because he snores really loud with his mouth open. Oh my God. I just wanted to slide under the chair. I'm like, I'm not with this dude.
Welcome to the Hall of Presidents. In just a few moments, the blue curtains in front of you will open and you'll be able to enter our theater. For guests traveling by wheelchairs that are unable to
Probably
transfer,
not.
we ask that you enter the doorway to the far right and take a seat in the top row of the theater.
Hey, Kronos.
Reserved for you and your parties.
Yeah, I'd love a
No
rum
flash
punch.
photographies for video cameras lighting at any time.
One of my favorite things to do is like a rum spritzer. So I'll get like a can of flavored seltzer water, like lime seltzer water, and like a quarter cup of coconut rum. So good. Throw a sprig of mint in there. Low calorie environment. And we need to discuss that picnic basket. Yep, I gave Snoot a wrench. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I'm hungry, but not enough to try that gumbo. I can't, y'all. All right. We're going to go in. We're going to sit in the back. Also, another reason I sit in the back is because with the phone, this way you guys can see the whole stage. I'm so amazed how many people will video bomb me. It's hilarious. All right. Let's go on. Let's see, let's go on. Oh, wait, no, we're not going that way. Oh, goodness. Not that good.
If you are not with the wheelchair, please step to the side.
Like I said, it's a good sized theater. And there isn't such a thing as a bad seat. However, there is such a thing as people not knowing how to keep moving down the road. I know that much.
We're not sitting in the back.
Excuse me.
Hi there. Yes.
This is why they want you to move all the way down to the end of the row. Excuse me. And then you have to step over folks. I honestly believe if you don't move to the end of the row as soon as you sit down, I think an ejector seat should throw you out. I get discount military tickets, so I take a nap whenever when I need one. Yeah, that's another thing. If you're in the military or one of the alphabet agencies, I hear you get really good discounts. So that's something to keep in mind when you're planning a visit. How's the humidity? Oh my gosh. Kronos, the humidity is horrible. It's so bad. It is with the heat index. There's a heat advisory today. So with the heat index, it's about 109 outside. And it will sneak up on you. Silly humans. I know, that pisses me off when people stop in the middle of the row. I want to be like Samuel L. Jackson and say, stop in the middle one more time. One more time. So you can't be in front of me and stop because I will shame you. All right, folks. I think we're about ready to go. So I'm going to pop this up a little bit so you guys can see.
Thank you for joining us for this reverent celebration of America's leaders, both past and present. And now the Walt Disney World Resort proudly presents the Hall of Presidents.
This program is dedicated to the memory of Walt Disney. In 1971, his love for America inspired the creation of the Hall of Presidents, a place to celebrate the optimism and goodwill he saw at the heart of the American story. Walt's vision was to honor the nation by honoring the American presidency.
It is 1783, and the smoke is clearing in the wake of the Revolutionary War. Over the course of 8 grinding years, General George Washington has led a force of shopkeepers, farmers, and Native American allies to victory over the greatest military power in the world. A new nation has been born, independent and free. The founders must form a national government. In 1787, through months of passionate debate, they create a written constitution. For the country's highest office, they imagine something new in the history of the world. A leader not born to power like a king or queen. A leader who has not seized power through conquest. A leader not separate from the people, but elected by the people. From among the people. We, the people. This is a new idea, an American idea. The idea of a president. The people don't know exactly what a president will be, but there is little doubt who it will be. George Washington's stature and bearing have marked him as a leader. His integrity has made him a great one. Washington knows that many generals who have led successful revolutions make themselves dictators or kings. Instead, he steps down from power and retires to his home, Mount Vernon. The world takes note, and George Washington becomes the symbol of American ideals. In the first presidential election, it's Washington by a landslide. The only doubt seems to be his own. He writes, "Integrity and firmness is all I can promise. Integrity and firmness is exactly what we need." Everything he does as president will set a model for his successors. His final act may be the most important of all. After 2 terms, with no term limit in the Constitution and amid overwhelming support to stay in office, he steps down once again and hands power back to the people. He wants us to speak, to elect a new president. During the early years of the Republic, we choose leaders as different as Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and Andrew Jackson. Elections are often bitter. Each president stands at that fiery intersection where personal character meets the challenges of the times. Some call the presidency a glorious burden. Jefferson calls it a splendid misery. We, the people, must choose well. We elect 15 presidents before the course of history brings us to the edge of a crisis like no other. A nation born of freedom still permits slavery. As the country pushes west, will new states be slave or free? The question produces bitter conflict. The issue rocks the election of 1860 and brings Abraham Lincoln onto the national stage. The tall, lanky, some say uncouth candidate from Illinois is a master of words at a time when speeches are printed in full for people to read. A house divided against itself cannot stand, he said. With Lincoln's election, the House does indeed divide. Civil War. 11 states secede from the Union. The war becomes a defining passage in the American story. The president's own inner strength and depth of character changed the course of history. Lincoln had come up the hard way on the American frontier, desperately poor, with less than a year of formal schooling. His early years were scarred by tragedy, the death of his mother, his sister, his first love. He struggles with depression, but never loses his determination to rise above it. He once said he's driven by a desire to leave the world a little better place for having lived in it. The war rages. Lincoln fights to preserve the Union and end slavery. Neither is a sure thing. At Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, 6 months after one of the bloodiest battles of the war, the president dedicates a cemetery to the thousands of soldiers who died there, in words we can never forget.
"Fourscore-and-7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate We cannot consecrate. We cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
The blood of over 500,000 Americans is spilled in the Civil War. President Lincoln's enduring hope is to give true meaning to the sacrifices of so many, to lead us to that new birth of freedom. With the end of the war and the end of slavery, a new birth truly begins. As we roll toward the 20th century, settlers roll west on wagon wheels and railroads connect the nation coast to coast. Millions of immigrants pour in from Europe and Asia. Population doubles. Our economy triples. Our standing among nations rises. We need presidents who can lead both at home and abroad. At the same time, a young Theodore Roosevelt is retreating from New York politics and personal tragedy. The death of his wife and his mother on the same day in the same house. In the Badlands of North Dakota, he rethinks his life and the life of his country. He returns stronger in body and spirit. His renewed energy is just what his country needs. American industry is booming, but social tensions are rising. A progressive movement is bubbling up, pushing for change. And change is needed in the working and living conditions in cities. The gap widens between rich and poor. The demand for change grows stronger. Teddy Roosevelt is a knight on a crusade. He speaks with force and vitality in clear terms that make colorful headlines at a time when mass market newspapers have become the new media. To define his foreign policy, he borrows a phrase from an African proverb: speak softly and carry a big stick. But his greatest accomplishments are made at home. He breaks up giant monopolies, protects workers' rights, and calls for a square deal for all Americans, rich and poor, capitalist and wage earner.
And a square deal for every man and every woman in the United States.
He calls on America to be as great as the natural grandeur of its lands. Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground, he tells us. And we do.
The bottom fell out of the market. 12 million unemployed. The bread lines and the results of the 1932 election now appear.
When we elect our 32nd president, it is the worst of times. The course of history and the course of one president's life again shape a turning point in our national destiny. Franklin D. Roosevelt, paralyzed by polio, knows how to restore the faith of a people paralyzed by the Great Depression.
I believe in practical explanation and in practical policy.
He has found the inner strength his countrymen now need. He speaks to us like a friend, a neighbor. His optimism is contagious, his voice perfect for the latest breakthrough medium, radio. He calls us to believe we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And we do believe.
Tonight's attacks on England are perhaps the most widespread of the war in the course of the day.
But an even greater challenge dominates his final years in office. The Second World War.
We must be the great arsenal of democracy. This is an emergency as serious as war itself.
We stun the world with our production. When bombs fall on U.S. troops in Pearl Harbor, he calls us to fight on the war front and sacrifice on the home front.
The harder the sacrifice, the more glorious the triumph. So spoke America in the year 1776. So speak America today.
Of a president, as we have from the beginning.
My fellow citizens, no event could have filled me with greater anxieties than that notification on the 14th day of April, 1789, that you had selected me to lead our nation. But it was with the confidence of my fellow citizens that I took an oath. 35 simple words that have been repeated by every American president throughout history.
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States, and I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help me God.
The presidency of the United States is a role unique in the world, an office entrusted to each president by us, we the people. Therein lies the genius of that new idea, now over 200 years old. A new idea our presidents have turned into a great American idea again and again.
This concludes our presentation. Please gather all the
Still a great place to take a nap, but I love the presentation. I have some issues with the script. But I wholeheartedly believe and trust and believe in this. They're going to have to do a new one of Donald Trump. Oh, great. There's 58 of you guys in here. Thank you so very much. It's July 4th. We are live out here at the Magic Kingdom. We're going to take a quick walk on over to where Tiana's Bayou Adventure is. We're going to see actually if the attraction is running. Interesting to check out. Oh my gosh, it is straight up.
I was still living at 103.
like I said, it's like that level in Super Mario where the sun is trying to kill you. I heard somebody describe summer in Florida like Raiders of the Lost Ark when they open up the Ark of the Covenant and your face just melts off. You know? Starlina, yes, Biden was indeed mentioned when the last animatronic is of the current president of the United States that's serving. They have George Washington do the intro for the oath of office. And then the animatronic of the current president repeats his oath of office. So the last animatronic you will hear from will be of the current president of the United States. So when Donald Trump lost the election, he was moved to a position with the other presidents while Biden was put up front. So what's going to be interesting, if Trump wins, are they going to make two of them? Because that current one did not look like him. First, because they thought Hillary was going to win. That's an interesting situation, isn't it? This is Florida. That's more real level. Oh, yeah. Thanks to all you folks who came in while we were watching Hall of Presidents. Now, see, if the Country Bears was open, that's exactly where I'll be headed to. I'll be rolling right over there. Because that's the next cool place. Besides going through the Trading Post, which is nice, it's themed so cool in there. So, check it out. July 4th celebration. Okay. I don't know what you're supposed to have up there. Folks are trying to get away from the hot sun. And yes, the new Country Bear show is coming July 17th. It's scheduled. I plan to, if I don't live stream it, I will be recording it. But I'm planning to live stream it though. Two Trumps, I like it. They didn't do two Grover Clevelands. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know because I forgot the name of the guy who won the presidency, then lost the presidency, and then won the presidency again. Yeah, I hope the Country Bears is good too. And yeah, Maryland, and the AC in the Country Bears is top. Ooh, when you get in the Grizzly Hall, it's like, okay, y'all, this is just me, but the water level on the drop seems kind of low. Okay, either it stopped temporarily. I heard a cast member say that it stopped. Actually, there's another screen I need to text real quick. I really do. I remember more water. Okay, there they go. They're moving again. I remember more water. They reduced the water on the drop. At least they got moving again. That's good. So again, it looks like Tiana's Bayou adventure is running, but like I said, that water is really low on the drop. It's hot and there's hardly any splash. I would be pissed off. Because remember, we would get on Splash Mountain to get soaked down to your drawers. Ugh, that's ridiculous. Imagine getting on a water slide with no water. I can't. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. You guys see? Man, if you can get down there with your hat still on, that's crazy. Try to zoom in a little bit. I can't, but for too much because I'm worried about the camera overheating. But yeah, look up there. It almost looks like there's no water. And there's no splash. Like hardly at all. But to be sure, let's go down in the bottom with the splash to show you guys. Then we will end the stream there. Let's see, it's going down this way. It is 105 with the heat index. 107 actually. You get on one of those attractions to get soaked beyond recognition, and it ain't happening. Okay, so let's go here. Nah, not really. Not really. Splash Mountain had much more water than this. So you can see the water going down the drop, not as much as it used to be. So it makes me wonder why they've turned it down. Because during cast member previews, there was no water. Maybe it has to do with the Mama Odie animatronic at top. Great, guys. Oh, that's cool. I'd love to see that because I look at that water and it's just like, ain't right. Not right. That's what I'm thinking. More water equals more AA downtime. Because there's so many electronics, like Culture Casino was saying. The animatronics are more electronic based and hydraulic based, and it's hot, it's humid, there's moisture in it, damaging the electronics. So that's probably why. It's going to take them a couple months to get this thing sorted. So if you wanted to ride a true water ride, you would have to go some other park. Yeah, you would have to go over to the Animal Kingdom to go ride Cali River Rapids, which is insane. I love that attraction. Or you go to Universal and do Ripsaw Falls and the Jurassic Park river ride. The drop on the Jurassic Park river ride, there is so much water. The water like roars when you hit, and there's like walls of water that come at you. It's funny watching people get so beyond all recognition. 3 more to 100, 5 more to 100. Well, I appreciate that, folks. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream right here. First of all, thank you guys so much for joining me. Happy Independence Day. I hope you enjoyed this stream. Please do hit that like button. And if you're part of the replay crew, let me know in the comments. I, of course, am going to get out of this hot park. I'm going to go see Despicable Me 4. You all take care. And tomorrow you can see me at 12 noon Eastern on Side Scrollers podcast. So thank you all so much for being here. I so appreciate the love you show my channel. You guys take care. Happy 4th. Happy Independence Day. America. Heck yeah. Bye.